Hi everybody, it's Helen Birch here. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing why it's so hard for some women to orgasm. I'm Helen Birch and I am a clinical hypnotherapist and sex therapist based in the UK. So many women have difficulty experiencing orgasms. This is usually due to a number of factors. The first is misinformation about the female orgasm. The second is men making assumptions about how to make a woman orgasm based on their own sexual response. And the third is a lack of communication between partners. This video will look at how the female orgasm is affected by different factors, what the female orgasm is, and why it is so hard for some women to climax. So basically, what is an orgasm is probably the best place to start. So an orgasm is something that is all around us and we think we know what they are, but we actually don't. So the orgasm is a natural response to stimulation of the genitals or other areas of the body. An orgasm is the final stage of sexual arousal in the body and is achieved when the body experiences a series of muscle contractions during sexual arousal. It is the pleasurable release of sexual tension when the erogenous zones are stimulated and it sends nerve impulses to the brain. The brain then sends signals to the muscles in the pelvic floor and the walls of the vulva to contract. The muscles contract and the uterus pushes upwards in the body, causing that orgasmic feeling. For many women, orgasms are one of the most exciting and satisfying parts of sex, either alone or with a partner. However, some women fear them as it is seen as a loss of control or it leaves them feeling vulnerable. For many women, they find it difficult to reach orgasm, and this is called anorgasmia. So, what are some orgasm myths? The orgasm is an amazing experience. The body tingles, the heart races, and the mind is at peace. This is what it feels like to have an orgasm. But how many of us are able to experience this feeling on a regular basis? The simple truth is that it's not easy for women to reach climax. There are lots of myths floating around that have been keeping women from the ultimate sexual satisfaction. From the myth that women can only have an orgasm through penetration to the myth that they can only have an orgasm in the missionary position. These myths are keeping women from their ultimate sexual satisfaction. So I am just going to address 3 of the most common myths. Number 1, women find reaching orgasm harder than men. It is commonly believed that women find it harder to reach orgasm than men. However, this is a myth. While it may take women longer to reach orgasm than a man, it is not necessarily more difficult for them. Everyone is different and there are many factors that can affect a person's ability to climax, such as stress, fatigue, and other medical conditions. In addition, different people have different levels of sensitivity, and what may work for one person may not work for another. A study in 2018 found that 95% of both men and women experienced orgasm when masturbating, showing that women do not find it any harder than men to achieve orgasm. But for women, it dropped to 65% achieving orgasm during sexual intimacy with a partner. So 95% of women can achieve climax, but only 20% of women can climax through penetration alone. This is called situational anorgasmia, which is a sexual dysfunction when it comes to penetrative sex with men or with a sex toy. The second myth is that orgasms from penetrative sex are the best. It is a common belief that orgasms from penetrative sex are better than any other kind, but it's simply not true. While penetrative sex can certainly be enjoyable, there are plenty of other ways to achieve climax that are just as good, if not better. For example, many people find that orgasms from clitoral stimulation are more intense and satisfying than that from penetration alone. This is because the clitoris is packed with nerve endings, making it one of the body's most sensitive areas. This myth comes from the past where women's sexuality was controlled by men, and it was only acceptable to have an orgasm with a man. It also comes from the shame and stigma attached to female sexual desire. All orgasms involve the clitoris, as it is either stimulated internally or externally. Additionally, a woman may not need to be in love to have an orgasm, and a partner cannot tell if a woman has had an orgasm or not. So, myth number 3 is that a woman should fake orgasms to make her partner feel good. This is a common myth that has been perpetuated by movies, TV shows, and even some well meaning friends or family members. The truth is, faking orgasms is not part of a woman's sex life. In fact, it can actually be quite harmful. Faking orgasms can lead to unrealistic expectations for your partner and can also make you feel less connected to them. It can also be difficult to maintain that charade over time, and you may feel yourself feeling resentful or even angry towards your partner. Most women fake orgasms as they are taught to believe that a partner's sexual confidence is more important than their own pleasure. They feel that they should be orgasming with a partner, and then they feel shame when they don't. If you are not enjoying sex, the best thing to do is talk to your partner about it. Open and honest communication is the key to a healthy and enjoyable sex life. While it's true that an orgasm can be very pleasurable, it is not necessarily the be-all and end-all of good sex. In fact, there's a lot to be said for enjoying the journey rather than just fixating on the destination. For many people, good sex is all about the build-up, the tension and the anticipation. It's about exploring each other's bodies, trying new things and finding out what gets you both hot. It's about being in the moment and enjoying the physical and emotional connection with your partner. And yes, sometimes it is about orgasms, but it doesn't always have to be. So don't believe the myth that good sex is only about climaxing. In fact, the reality is that good sex is whatever floats your boat. As long as you and your partner are enjoying yourselves, then really that's all that matters. So, how do you know if you've had an orgasm? Many women question if they have actually had an orgasm, particularly when their experience is not the screaming and moaning orgasms that are portrayed in films. There is no one definitive answer to this question, and it's different for everyone. However, there are some general signs that you may have experienced an orgasm. And these can include feeling a sense of pleasure or release, feeling muscle spasms or spasms in the genitals, and feeling flushed or sweating. Some people may also experience an increased heart rate and breathing. If you are unsure whether you have had an orgasm, then it is best to assume that you haven't, as the feeling is distinct even if it is a very weak feeling. So, what makes having an orgasm difficult? There can be many factors that can make having an orgasm difficult for women. It can be anything from stress and anxiety to medical conditions, including endometriosis. For men, erectile dysfunction can be a major obstacle to achieving climax. Other factors that can impact both sexes include relationship issues, lack of sexual arousals, and certain medications. In some cases, simply taking more time to relax and focus on enjoying the experience can be the key to reaching orgasm. How can improving your pelvic floor help you have better orgasms? So, Kegel exercises can improve your pelvic floor muscles, which can in turn lead to better orgasms. The pelvic floor muscles are responsible for supporting the bladder and uterus, and they also help with sexual function. Stronger pelvic floor muscles can mean more sensation and stronger orgasms. To do a Kegel exercise, simply squeeze your pelvic floor muscle as if you're trying to stop yourself from urinating. Hold the squeeze for a few seconds and then release. Repeat this 10 to 15 times and do it several times a day. Over time, you should notice a difference in your muscle strength, and that can lead to some pretty amazing orgasms. The female orgasm is complex and a unique experience, and the myths around female orgasms are endless. I hope that this video has helped you learn more about female orgasms and its complexities. If you're interested in learning more about our services, please feel free to reach out at any time, and I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you. Bye for now.